Plank. Presented by Ram continues on ABC Action News Now.
See, ladies and gentlemen, Ralphie has moved over to the phones and he's ready to take your calls. The number is 813-367-0171. I wouldn't be afraid. Don't be afraid of him. That's okay. I understand he was, you know what, really, he was in the mafia. So if you don't call, you know, he knows who's out there. All right? Hey, listen, if you want to, tweet, you can go to Korun at WFTS.com. No, what the hell is it? No, it's at Korun WFTS. You can tweet us at the plank, hashtag at the plank, or hashtagging the plank. I'm getting everybody confused. Maybe I ought to just shut the hell up and you just look at this stuff and you all figure it out for yourself. Derek Fournier joining us from What the Buck. Oh, man. See what happened?
Rough night tonight, TK.
Let me tell you something. When these guys being 1-6, it's hard to talk about the same things over and over
it's brutal.
and over again.
It is.
Yeah.
It's brutal. No, we have our shows on Wednesday nights, and I heard you talking about scheduling and these sorts of things. It's always tough to find the right time to get fans to interact, right? Because you hit it hot on Monday after Sunday, and people are a little excited or whatever, but you got Monday Night Football to deal with, all that other stuff. You get later in the week, and people are sort of getting lethargic about this. They've taken their lumps. They're not quite excited yet about this week's game. And at 1-6, it's tough to be excited in general. We've had a mini fire sale going on over at One Buck Place. It is tough. I don't know if you've seen the video of Factory Sadness by Mike Pollock.
No, I haven't.
There's a Cleveland Browns fan who's done these great little comedy vignettes out in front of the stadium, and he calls the stadium a Factory of Sadness. Very good stuff. We sort of went through that sort of painful thing last night, had Steve White on the show, and you know, fans have got to look past the scores and the record, and it sucks to say, oh, we were so close on a bunch of games. Now people are pulling out, I think maybe the team with Shiano is better than we are right now, and you start having that sort of revisionist history. It's not just about the record. Anyone who thought this was going to be fast, I think, was living a fantasy life. It's going to be painful, and I think as fans, you kind of buck it up and deal with it. Browns fans have been worse off for a lot longer.
No, I don't think any people thought it was going to be fast. They were fooling themselves, but they didn't think it was going to be this.
They didn't.
And I don't think anybody thought this was going to be the way it was.
No, but then again, I don't think anybody expected Tedford to have a heart attack.
Right.
I don't think anyone expected the injuries that we've had, but injuries happen in football, right? And I think everyone who did the preseason sort of projections said we're very thin in a lot of positions that are really, really important. You have Adrian Claiborne go down. I know that some people feel like the jury's out on Adrian. I happen to be an Adrian fan, a great motor. You lose your left end, and you have some problems there, right? Will Golson's done well, but he came in not playing particularly well. He's upped his game. But that pressure that we talk about that's required for this defense, we got 65 pressures. The Browns have 68, right? They're getting close. They're not getting there, and they've got to close that gap and actually get more actual hits on the quarterback, not just be around him. A lot of that starts with Gerald McCoy. He's had a great year. But when we talk to Steve White, former defensive lineman, he's taking too many inside moves, which is leaving the rest of the line to fend for themselves. And that's not Gerald's fault. He's not doing something wrong necessarily, but it's something that the staff could adjust that would bring the game for everyone in the lineup by having their superstar do a little bit different strategic maneuvers while he's in the game. And that's why I think some people like Steve and some of these other guys who watch the All-22s feel like we're a lot closer than our record shows.
Well, talking about Gerald McCoy, you know, he got a hell of a contract, 7 years, $95 million. And I know he sat down, he talked with us this week, and let's listen into what he had to say. I don't know about the timing of it, considering they're 1-6, and it kind of made it look like, yeah, right, your eyes are rolling like, you know, like you're a slot machine. But in any case, I want you to listen to this because it did catch my ear. Here it is.
A lot of people you see run from situations like this. They feel like, oh, well, you know, they're not winning right now, or it's not going, you know, the way they plan. So what? The best feeling in the world is going to be when we turn this thing around and to know you were a part of it. And you didn't run from a challenge. You didn't run from the fight. I love a fight. I don't like fighting, but I love this fight, you know. And it's gonna be the greatest feeling in the world to be able to hold that trophy in the air and know that you went through all the hard times and you didn't run from it. You stuck in there, you hung in there, and you fought together as an organization and got back to exactly where these two sitting next to me said we'll be. And I believe them, I trust them, and we're going to do it together, and that's why I signed that paper.
All right. What I like is I didn't want to leave a fight, and I believe him. I think he's got some contrition in there. I think he says what he believes. It's just now a matter of how are they going to pull this off, and how long is it going to take?
Well, and one of the things I liked, everyone talks about the parallels between McCoy and Sapp and Levante and Derek, right? And Sapp will tell the story to anyone who will listen about when he and Brooks were in the hotel and they said, this is enough. We're going to end this right now. And when we've watched these games, the games we've been close in, right, which have been everything except for the Falcons and the Ravens, which were curb stompings. But in those games, you're at the game and you're going, someone needs to step up and make the play, whether it's Banks dropping the interception twice, whether it's Levante making a tackle for a loss to stop the drive. We've got to get to the point where these guys who are superstars don't just play well, but they elevate their game at that moment. If you look at the Minnesota Vikings game, on that last drive, Bridgewater, rookie quarterback, fading back, pressure in his face. He's got 3 Buccaneers hanging off of him. You've got to get that sack. Instead, he throws the ball to Greg Jennings for the first down, continues the drive. When the Bucs turned the corner last time is when those plays started going our way. The ball started bouncing our way. What is that, nose to the grindstone? I don't know what the magic sauce is, but that's what's got to happen. And it's just like quicksand happens. I'm a Replacements fan, the movie Replacements.
Yeah.
The concept of quicksand, bad things beget bad things. Good things can beget good things too. And that game in Pittsburgh was pretty impressive, right? The way that we played in New Orleans, I was at that game, was pretty impressive. This team has the capability. What the coaching staff has to do, and this hurts me as a fan because I'm a big Lovie Smith fan. I love the staff he's assembled there. At some point, it's on them. Now, I'm not a quick turnaround guy. I don't say, halfway through the year, the game's passed by this guy who's a really well-respected coach. It's not true. But it's got to be on them.
Well, Derek, one of the things that I really have a hard time subscribing is that Marcus Arroyo he took over in a very precarious position with Tedford, going down with a heart attack. But you can't tell me that the guy didn't know his offense. He just is inexperienced at calling plays. I watch how the play calling in the games, and I'm very unimpressed. Offensively, I'm totally unimpressed with their game calling. I think they run it too much on first down. He said they had a couple of bubble screens, called last week. Where were they?
Well, and this team hasn't proven they can execute a bubble screen anyway.
But you know what? Is somewhere along the line you have to say, okay, you want to put the team in position to be successful, but if you're only going to go to 5 or 6 plays that are successful, what's the point? These players have got to learn to execute, don't you think? I mean, they can't win with the minuscule offensive game plan that they're using right now. I just don't see it happening.
I saw a number before I came on tonight. Mike Glennon's quarterback rating was about 56 in the first half of games and 106 in the second half of games.
Right.
But one of the things that we talk about is down and distance, talking about staying on schedule.
Right.
And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I was using them on the show last night. Our average distance to go on second down is 8.7 yards, and on third down is 8.3 yards.
You can't win.
You cannot win that way.
No.
It just doesn't happen. No. And it sounds like, old football adages, but it starts and ends at the offensive line. This offensive line has been just knuckleheaded terrible since we started. It hasn't gotten any better. If you're going to implement a zone scheme, by God, everyone's got to dance on the same dance patterns, right? And right now we're not. So we can't run the ball at all. If you can't run, you become predictable. And really, that's as easy as you can describe the offensive ineptitude we've had.
All right, this is Derek Fournier from What the Buck, and let folks in on what the Buck is all about.
We're a fan-based media show. We started 9 seasons ago, so we have our own podcast and our own internet broadcast as well. We've also got the largest tailgate in Tampa. We started What the Buck Really Matters Foundation, so we do all charitable activities. Anything above and beyond the cost on those tailgates goes to charities. And in fact, I noticed all the posters in here. The second half of this month, our donations are going to the Spring of Tampa, which is a home for domestic abuse right here in Tampa. You have a shirt over there that I brought you.
Yeah.
Since the NFL stopped us from having our throwback game, we said that was stupid. And so last week we bought 200-something of these orange shirts. So if you saw people running around in orange shirts, that was our group, and everything above the cost is going to the Spring as well.
Yeah.
We even had some Vikings fans buy some. We had about 70 Vikings fans at our tailgate, and they were amazing.
Oh, they all like to drink.
Oh, they do.
You've been up in Minnesota, haven't you?
I have. You have to drink if you're in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Ice fishing up there. They were my liquor.
It's wonderful. But that's a group who actually saved their franchise, which is pretty amazing in that vote. So, but we had a good time anyway. But yeah, that's what we do with What the Bucs. So we talk about Bucs football. We're fans first, but we like to say we're educated fans.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. We're so educated that it's killing us trying to really pull the positives out of what we're seeing right here, because the positives are limited, but we still have a few games to go, so let's hope it all
absolutely
turns around pretty quick.
Could be worse. We could be talking about a franchise in another city.
Yeah, we could, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
All right. Derek Fournier from What the Buck joining us here on The Plank, presented by Ram. And By the way, who would you
Walk the
write
plank?
to walk the plank?
Garrett Gilkey.
You would.
Yeah, yeah. Any guy who can get penalties and beat in every single play he's in for an entire game. Now, admittedly, he was only in for, I think, 6 plays. But on every one of those plays, he either committed a penalty or was beaten. He'd be gone.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not who I thought it would be.
Oh, who are you going after, TK?
Well, I can't tell you yet because we're waiting. We're waiting.
Okay.
Okay. And I got somebody whispering in my ear. Is that Ralph?
Are they sweet nothings?
No. Say that again, Ralph. What was that? Okay. Somebody's on Twitter. Oh, somebody.
I'm not following your Twitter, TK. They're going after you.
What's going on? Is something on mine? Okay. What do I got? All right. What does it say? I can't even see it, dude. Oh, there we go. Okay. TK's talking to severed heads. Is that the one? Oh, that's pretty good. I'm watching. Are you? What is this? Is this somebody that wants to take me out? Hold on here. Hold on. Okay.
You're easy to find, TK. I'd be careful.
I am easy to find. That is true. Well, okay. What the hell with it? All right. Well, listen, folks. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot for coming by, Derek.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, we'll have you around. Absolutely.
love
Yeah,
it.
we enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to take another break, and I understand. Is this true that John Sable tried to call in and we disallowed it? Is that we disallowed it? We're going to try him again. We're going to let him in. All right. Okay, Johnny, you're up next, and we'll be back with more on the plane.